Hi guys, it's me again. I'm here today to talk about something a little bit different, even though it is inextricably linked to numerology. It's another passion of mine that I've been studying alongside numerology for years, and it never ceases to astound me how numerology and Mayan astrology not only have extreme similarities in their numbering and their number energies and what the number energies mean, but how they fit together so perfectly. And I use them both in my life as well as Western astrology as well. They're all relevant. All of them are relevant. And, you know, the more of them that you use and put together in your life, the better. And Mayan astrology is fantastic. It's not quite as, well, numerology is my top passion, if I'm honest. But Mayan astrology has always been a passion of mine as well. And I've noticed that there's not much about it online and not many people know about it. And the information in Mayan astrology is so important. I cannot bear for people not to know about it. And the people that want to know about it and want to use it can do so. Okay. When you work out your Mayan astrology sign, it's not a case of adding up your numbers like your birth numbers or working out what your name is. It's basically it's so complex that I have to use other websites and my little almanac to figure out what people's day signs and their future past and masculine and feminine sides are, because it's so complex. I use a site called, I think it's Zolkin Explorer. And I think it's an Australian site, but it's actually really good. So if you want to find out your Mayan sign, there's many, many, many different sites you can go to. But if you put Zolkin Explorer into your browser, it will all come up. And then when you put your date of birth in the top right hand side, you get a plethora of brilliant information, which will be really useful to you. But there's other sites as well that you can use. All you have to do is put into Google, what's my Mayan sign, or tell me my Mayan sign, and you're away. And there's plenty of sites that will help you on that score. Right. So the first one I'm dealing with today is day sign number 1. Okay. Mayan astrology day sign number 1. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Mayan astrology before we carry on, just in case you don't know a huge amount about it. Excuse me a moment if you cannot hear the meowing of my beautiful little cat who has just come in and wants to go out. Can you hear him meowing? Yes, all right, darling. I know. You want to go out? Go on then. Go on then, little one. Mind your tail. Mind your tail. Sorry about that. The cat flaps in this room, and he's a very spoilt little boy because we love him so much. So he goes in and out at will, and when he comes in, he will meow and meow and meow until he gets what he wants, little man. Anyway, let's get going. Right, so telling you a little bit about Mayan astrology before we start. So the Mayans are an ancient people that came from sort of ancient Mesoamerica, Central America and Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, that area. They are very, very well known for their amazing knowledge of astrology, astronomy, planetary positions and mathematics. Very, very, very knowledgeable people. And as I said, they're from ancient Mesoamerica and they live in today's Mexico and Central America. So we've managed, a lot of their writings were destroyed by religious fanatics, unfortunately. So a lot of what has been pieced back together has been done so from using indigenous peoples, going and speaking to them about their culture, because the Mayans still exist in small pockets all around Central America and Mexico. So there's many people have gone to speak to indigenous people and found out lots of information about the Mayan culture and the Mayan calendar. We've used manuscripts, inscriptions, and there's many people that study it, like archaeoastronomers, ethnoastronomers, anthropologists. This all sounds like long words, but many people study ancient cultures, and Mayan culture is no different. And that's where we've pieced together a lot of the information that was destroyed by these religious fanatics all that time ago. So the difference between Mayan astrology and Western astrology is Western astrology focuses on the astronomical cycles and planetary alignments, which is also very relevant. I study Western astrology too. But I find Mayan astrology, I've got a little bit more of a passion for it because I find it that little bit more accurate, but hope I don't upset anyone by saying that. Mayan astrology interprets more as blocks of time, cyclic blocks of time. They use planets as well, but it is more about blocks of time going in cycles and running together. Okay. So the Mayan system is a series of groupings of days, the most important being the 260-day Tzolk'in calendar. Okay, so the 260-day Tzolk'in calendar is all organized in intricate correlations between time and number and astronomy and planetary positions, which is also part of a 365 day civil calendar, but there's different calendars, but I don't want to confuse you by going into too much detail where that's concerned. That will be on future videos. Okay, right. So the most important sign that you will look for, you will use, especially for your daily personality and your talents, is going to be your day sign. So the 260-day Tzolk'in calendar splits into periods of 20 days, okay? And whatever day sign you have, and it changes every day, it reveals important information about your destiny, your personality. It provides you with your main life mission, your main life purpose, which of course has things added to it and it changes later in life, but I'll let you know further on the video how that works. Okay, so it's your main life mission, like your life path in numerology is your day sign. Okay, so it includes your strong and weak aspects, and it reminds you of your spiritual essence and your mission for this lifetime. My Mayan road sign adds to my numerology life purpose, and I use them both together in conjunction. It's an amazing thing. The Trikana, so when you get a reading, you get a day sign, you get a Trikana, you get a your galactic tone, and if it's a good reading, you often get your masculine, feminine, your past and future, and also your Lord of the Night as well. So that's like a good rounded reading. So the Trikana is 20 blocks of 13 days. So each day sign, or each, I call them day sign, but each character of a day sign exists for 13 days and it's in 20 blocks. So for me, I'm a road day sign, but I was born in the serpent Trikana. And that's a 13-day cycle. Okay, so I'm a road serpent, and my galactic tone is 8, and my Lord of the Night is G4. But anyway, enough about me. The Trikana gives us integral information about who we are, like your day sign. But your day sign is 75% you, and your Trikana is the 25% you. It's sort of, if your day sign is like the foreground, the Trikana sign is the background of the picture, and it sort of adds a little bit to your personality, but it's not as relevant as your day sign. So as I said, your galactic tone, mine is 8. It reveals the relationship between you and the divine plan, so it adds to your day sign and your Trikana. I use all 3 together. It's about merging them and using them as one, really. So when I think about my life, I think about my day sign, my Trikana, and my galactic tone merging together to make me, okay? Including all my masculine, feminine, past and future, which I'm about to talk to you about in a moment. So it's quite, you know, it's like numerology. It's like a big lot of different ingredients that make you who you are and make you an individual, because It's unlikely that there's going to be anyone else that's exactly like you. Your galactic tone. The tone reveals the relationship between you and the divine plan. The tone is more like a mission. It's like a mission given to you, which adds to your day sign life path. Okay. So this energy is what you radiate to people in society, in the universe. It supports your day sign, and I think all of them should be used together, if I'm honest. But that's just me. Right, so as I've been going on about, you also have, so you've got your day sign in the middle, and then you've got your past and your future. These help you with your spiritual evolution. So you're under the influence of your past sign till you're about 12 or 13 years old. And you start feeling your future sign at around 40-ish years old. But everyone's different. Some people feel it a bit earlier. Some people feel it a bit later. Your future or destiny sign is like a new mission tagged on to your existing mission, which enhances your route to your spiritual development and evolution. And you need to understand and realize all these signs, because if you reject them, it causes you no end of problems and blocks and issues, and you don't spiritually develop. So when I'm talking about your masculine, feminine, past and future, it's something that you need to think about, accept, sort of accept in your life in order for you to develop spiritually. So past and future is mostly about your spiritual evolution, your development, your moving forward. The masculine and feminine, these are signs that support your personality and come out in different situations. For example, the feminine side is your introverted sign that only really comes out in intimate relationships. And then your masculine side, your outgoing, your active, comes out more in your professional relationships. And if you are like fighting for position, you would see the masculine side more. It's important that these two signs all get along. Like I've said, understand them, merge them, and include them all in your life and accept them as a part of you. Because again, if you do not accept these elements as a part of you, it's going to cause you no end of problems. Okay, so it's really important that the information I give you, you don't berate yourself for this. This is a part of you as a person. Accept it and use it. Okay, really, really, really important. Okay, so also I thought I'd cover these, but I'm going to cover them more in later videos, to be honest. Other things you can find out in Mayan astrology, which aren't so significant but are useful and they do have an influence, is your Lord of the Night, your solar year, and maybe your phase of Venus. I use the Lord of the Night more because I think it has more influence than the solar or the phase of Venus, because the solar years are like wider passages of time, and I think are more watered down than the day sign Trikana, tone, or Lord of the Night, but still relevant. It's like it's the flavour in the water, but it's not the main thing. So the Lord of the Night is a repeating 9-day sequence symbolising your unconscious hidden motivations. So the Lord of the Night tells you a little bit more about what's inside here, your good side, your inner good motivations, and of course your dark side as well. We've all got a dark side, so chill. Solar years are grouped in 54-year cycles, a little bit more watered down. That's why I consider them, but less so. Each year in the cycle has its own special quality that is reflected somewhat in the personality and character of the person. The phase of Venus is divided into 4 main periods. The phase in which the person is born can offer insights into the social values and the role that you have in society. Okay, so I'm going to go into the 4 directions a little bit more in another video, because it's a lot to take in. So just so you know, for the benefit, if you're a crocodile, you lean towards the east. So you're about beginnings and emergence and individualism and creativity. But we'll talk more about that in another video, or you could research it. It's completely up to you. So your Mayan name it looks like Imix, but it's actually Imix. Okay. Meaning of that is crocodile, but some people have a meaning of like dragon and water lily. I put those in, but I don't really put much credence on those. The element that dominates you is earth, and as I've said, your direction is east, and your compatibility are other people in your group, like another crocodile, serpent, water, reed, and earth. But also the signs in the opposite, in the west, they also have some resonance for you as well. Okay, so like the east and the west resonate with you, but any signs from the north or the south, not so much. Okay. Right, so the crocodile, like in the numerology number 1, they're here to bring something new to the world. You know, it's very much, I've noticed that numerology and Mayan astrology really, really fit together. And when you look at the meanings of the numbers in Mayan astrology separately to numerology, they're very, very similar. And to me, that just makes it even more, you know, apart from my experience and knowing that it's accurate, it just shows me more and more that, you know, this is like something that needs to be taken seriously by people. So you're here to bring something new to the world. You're here to create and initiate new beginnings. You're a catalyst for new beginnings and new projects, and you're associated with power and leadership. Very much sounds like the numerology life path and expression number 1, do you not think? Okay, so a crocodile needs advice and support. They need a tender, loving partner. They need collaboration. They need other people, and they need a calm atmosphere to work in. And if they want to calm down their energy, meditating near water is really useful for them, because crocodiles, they need others, just like the numerology energy of the 1. They're very independent people, but they need advice and support and collaboration and a loving partner to support them in everything they do. But they're independent as well, but they need both. Okay, just like the life path 1, the crocodile needs that. Okay, so your abilities and things that you're interested in. So you're a leader and a founder of business, associations and organizations. You love the natural world and the outdoors, and you're very, very practical. But you're also, as well as being practical, you're also intuitive and connected to the subconscious. Because you're a number 1, crocodile, rebirth, you're very much into parenthood, new beginnings, having children and having that family behind you. In your abilities, you're very much the visual artist, designer, creator, writer, musician. You can also be into psychology, philosophy, creative writing, producing things on TV. You're also interested in the mystical, spiritual, psychic topics, and you look for love adventures. Looking for love adventures is going to be lots and lots and lots of fun, but it also means that you may struggle to stay in a committed relationship. So be careful about that one. Unless you want to not be in a committed relationship and you want to have lots of love relationships, that's up to you, really. No one judges you. And you also love meeting new people. Okay, personality. You're very much the go-getter. You're the initiator. The crocodile is the let's get things done. Emotional, passionate and nurturing. Very, very strong, assertive, aggressive character. I mean, you don't tangle with a crocodile unless you're willing to have a very, very strong opponent. You're full of energy, vitality, and and endurance. You can go for hours. You know, if you want to get something done, you do not tire. You're goal-orientated, very purposeful, hard-working, at risk at times of becoming a workaholic if you're not careful. But you can also be quite impulsive and frivolous, and you're not keen on change, but that's kind of wrong, really. You like change if you initiate it, but change that you didn't initiate, you're not quite so friendly with, and you can be quite reactive to. You're determined, you're dominant, and you're resolute. When you decide you're going to do something, that's happening. You know, no one's going to stop you. You're direct, blunt, and rigid. You know, you're not going to hold back. because of someone's feelings. If you feel something is true, you will tell that person, and you don't see why you wouldn't tell that person, because you're feeling it anyway. Why hide it, you know? So sometimes you can like upset others a little bit because you can be that little bit too honest with people. But you're also very hardworking, you're very intuitive, as well as being practical. You balance the two. You look for new people and experience, so you like trying new things, but you can be a bit trusting and people can take advantage of you sometimes, so be careful of that. You do not follow rules. Nobody tells the crocodile what to do. You follow your own path in life. You're energetic, you like to be a leader, but, you know, even though you're quite a bombastic character as a crocodile, you are quite secretive, sensitive, and private to the things that matter. So you'll never know everything about a crocodile. You only know what they want you to know. The crocodile is very protective. You wouldn't want to tangle with it. It's like a protective mother. You know, you go near a mother's baby in the wild, you're a dead man or a dead girl. And that's what they're like. They will protect their family with their claws out. And of course, they're associated with the massive energy of the root chakra and very associating with family relationships and love. The negative crocodile, as we all have a negative side, you can be quite resentful and angry. If your creative energy isn't being used in a good way, it can be sort of, what's the word? It can come out as domination or like bad habits like drug taking and alcohol. You know, your creative energy must be expressed. And if you don't express it in a good direction, your creative energy can be expressed in a difficult direction and end up being discharged in negative things, if you know what I mean. Because you're into rebirth, and if your creative juices are not being used elsewhere, you can be really possessive and controlling of your children, stop them doing the things they want, which can cause problems. And when it does cause problems, you're quite happy to be combative and aggressive. This could lead to sort of quite heavy, hard, horrible arguments that could even go towards violence if you're not careful. You're quite prone to mood swings. You can be laughing and joking and bouncing off the walls one minute and then melancholic and angry the next. This can cause some people to walk on eggshells with you, because they're not always sure what might come from you next. You can be quite lazy and lethargic, especially if you've got no one else around you, like other day signs or other numerology energies, to push you forward, because you're good at coming up with the initial idea, but you're not so good with taking that idea forward. So you can be a bit lazy and lethargic and lose focus after your initial idea and not really follow through with it. And it's all very well and good having amazing ideas that you take from source, but if you don't do anything with them, what's the point? So you need other people in your life to make that happen. Otherwise, you'll become unfocused, lazy, lethargic, and you just won't have any direction. So yeah, projects are often left unfinished. You are very emotional, so your mental health is vulnerable. You can be associated with extreme madness. So you can be extremely wise, or you can be mentally cuckoo. You can be completely insane. And alongside that, your ego is very fragile. So you need a balanced environment, balanced, sensitive people, or you can really lose it. Right. So we all have. So if you imagine your Mayan crocodile sign is in the middle, then you have to the left-hand side your feminine, to the right-hand side your masculine sign, and behind you is your past sign, and in front of you is your destiny sign. Okay, so your masculine sign that supports the crocodile, so it's like another element of your personality. So this is your extroverted, outgoing sign, apparent in your professional relationships that you show to the world. So you're very independent. Okay, your masculine side of the crocodile is very independent ambitious and driven, very, very critical and a perfectionist. You're interested in science, philosophy and technical subjects. Innovative, experimental, you love to plan, you love to have a new idea and plan it, and plan it to take it forwards. You're very detail orientated, unconventional, and live to your own rules. You're not going to have anyone telling you what to do. You have your own unique perspective on life, and you're very driven, but you do enjoy a little bit of escapism to relax, a little bit of fantasy, but be careful, make sure that escapism is healthy for you. Okay, and you tend to be very popular and well liked. So just to be clear, your main sign is your crocodile. That is your main mission, and that is what I've been talking to all the way down the line. It's your main personality, but you also have a masculine and a feminine side and a past and a future. So your masculine sign adds to your crocodile sign and supports it, and is another part of your character that you show to the world. Okay. The feminine side that supports the crocodile, which is on the left-hand side, I believe, is your introverted side, the side that really only comes out if you're in your intimate relationship. So only people that know you well will see this side of you. So people in the outside world are going to see the crocodile as really raw and forthright and tough, just like the eagle and the crocodile. But actually, in your intimate relationships, you're quite peaceful, cooperative and placid. You're a very inspiring person, generous and sensitive to the needs of the people you love, mentally strong. You hold on to your opinions and you're not easily swayed like the other two signs, which is a good thing, really. You don't want to be influenced by everyone. You need someone by your side. You need companionship. And this is, sorry, I haven't mentioned, it's the deer. So your feminine side is the deer sign, which, as you can imagine, is a very tender sign. You need companionship, very community, very family is very important, but you also like a bit of freedom to move about like a deer would. You're quite traditional. You like traditional family values and socio-political values. You're very artistic and sexual, and sometimes you can be a little bit eccentric. But the crocodile is quite an eccentric character, so that just adds to the crocodile. So the crocodile is your main character. The eagle is the masculine, the side that you show to the world in your professional relationships, and the feminine deer is the side that it's what your family sees. But only people that are in an intimate relationship with you, or someone that you really trust and care about, will see the deer feminine side of your nature. Okay, so this is about your spiritual growth and evolution. I think this is the most exciting bit, because this is what you're working towards. This is what you're going to use to help yourself develop in this lifetime. And I find that very, very exciting, because it's all very well and good knowing who you are as a person or what you're good at, but you've got to know, where are you going? What have you got to do to move forward in this lifetime? Because these lifetimes that we have, multiple, are all about evolution. Okay, so Reed or Ben. So Reed is there's several names. You can also call it Cain as well. Mayan, Ben, Reed, Cain. This is your past sign. So when you're a crocodile now, depending on your age, but when you were in your childhood up to about the age 12 or 13, you were influenced by your past sign, which for the crocodile is Reed or Cain. Okay. It's your past sign. It's your familiar way of being. Get rid of that. I hope that hasn't come up on my video. It's your familiar way of being that you trust and understand. So you've been like it all the way through your childhood. So you understand this way of being. And, it's really important that you accept this part of yourself. Okay, really important. So when you were a young crocodile, you were influenced by the Cain Reed. And you were popular, you were knowledgeable and competent, very expert, very, very known for your expertise, very ambitious young person, very goal driven. You will fight for what you believe in. So you probably got into a few scraps at school. Argumentative and rigid in your opinions. If you think something is true, you will fight to the death. Even if it starts to become like you might not be quite right, you will continue to fight to the death. You're strong-minded and opinionated. You thrive on conflict, actually. So if you people disagree with what you're saying, you're quite happy to fight for your rights. You know, but it can tip towards being a bit militant if you're not careful. So be careful with that. It's all very well and good to argue your point, and I will always tell somebody to put their point forward, but be careful it doesn't tip into violence and militant behaviour. You're a very popular person, very social. People like you. You're just fun to be around. And it helps that you're quite naturally knowledgeable about human nature. And it naturally brings you a bit of recognition and fame when you're a young'un. And that could be either recognition between your friends or recognition from the teacher, which could be positive and negative. So your recognition could be a good thing and you could get recognized by your teacher, or you keep taking your teacher's attention and they keep telling you off and chucking you out the classroom. But anyway, but you have clear intentions and you know what you want and you know what you're going for and you're not easily swayed from that. Okay, that was your childhood up to about 12, 13 years old. If I can change the screen. Hang on a minute, guys. The screen is not doing what I want. Oh, this is not good. Right, now it's decided to do something. Right, so I've just done that one, done that one, done that one. Right. Haha, this is your future. So this is what you, as a crocodile day sign, this is what you're working towards, okay? And you start feeling, this is like an extra little mission tagged onto the end of your crocodile day sign. It's given it to you at around the age of 40-ish. For some people, you feel it a bit earlier. Some people, you feel it a bit later. And again, you need to understand and accept and use these elements of yourself for your spiritual evolution. Reject them at your peril, okay? Be told. So after around the age of 40, you have an added little mission, and you need to accept these elements of yourself, and you're going to feel the difference when these elements creep into your life. You become more romantic, more sexual, more sensual, more emotional. You're more interested in your imagination. You might get into like more fantasy novels or watch fantasy stuff on TV or daydream a lot about fantasy and things like that. You become a natural performer, and you'll be excellent at transferring your powerful emotions to an audience. So if you're a crocodile sign post the age of 40, you should get involved in Amdram to try and discharge some of these amazing emotions, and the talent you have for transferring those emotions to an audience is amazing. So you have powerful emotions which you'd need as a performer. Without emotion, you can't perform anything. So even your goals are emotionally driven. You solve problems intuitively. You're a risk taker, which, you know, it can go either way. You like to take risks, which sometimes can lead to new opportunities and obviously sometimes go the other way. You can be very psychic. You're very emotional and it all goes hand in hand. You have a creative vision and artistic emotional ability. But you can be, because of your emotions and your strong opinions, you can be quite extremist. You know, if you have an opinion or you're an extreme on that opinion, you're very, very rarely moderate, okay? You're strong, you have an independent mind, but you can struggle a little bit with responsibility at times. Now, these elements of you, it's vital, especially when you reach the age of 40-ish and beyond, that you accept this as part of you, as well as all the other elements of you. If you don't accept them as part of you, you are going to really struggle and you won't develop and evolve as a person. Okay, I really hope you loved my video on the crocodile day sign. I'm going to continue doing these videos alongside my numerology ones. My next numerology video is nearly ready, so that will be the next one I post. And then after that, I'm going to post the Mayan wind sign, which is sign number 2. And it will be similar to this. I'll give you lots of guidance if you're a Mayan wind sign, and lots of guidance is coming to you if you're a life path 3. So if you really like my video, because I'm quite new to YouTube, I'm needing them subscribers, please don't forget to like my videos. A lot of people watch videos, me included, and I forget to like them and I have to go back into them, or I